Today we're doing a review of the very interesting DVRGE backpack. In this video, we're gonna break the bag down, talk about the honest pros and cons, fully pack it out, and in the situation that you're not quite feeling this bag, I'll give you a couple of alternative suggestions to show you what else is on the market. Because here at Nomads Nation, our goal isn't to sell you one bag, it's to help you find the best bag for your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the DVRGE backpack. And it should be noted that this is a sponsored review, but here at Nomads Nation, sponsored reviews do not equal positive reviews. And if you watch this review, you will see that very apparently. The only thing that we offer for sponsored reviews is a guaranteed publish date, because right now, DVRGE is running a Kickstarter for this bag. It should be in the last few days if you're watching this within a couple of days of publishing the video. But we also took the bag on because we thought it was quite interesting as to where it's doing a couple new things that I haven't really seen in a bag before, and it's appealing to a very specific community. I swear, it is actually a sports travel backpack. And what's cool is it's bringing a lot of the highly technical aspects of bags that our community has grown so fond of, but really advertising and really specializing towards that particular athletic niche. Let's talk about some of the bag's top features. First up, it's a big boy, 36 liters. And my version is the X-Pack version. Great for weather resistance, offers a lot of structure for self-standing, but it's got some cons as well. We'll talk about that in a sec. We've got some side compression straps, chunky harness system with a lot of ventilation, the chunkiest luggage pass-through holder I've ever seen, and a 270-degree clamshell style opening. But notice these guys and this guy, which are the biggest selling points of the bag, as to where you have different sections of the bag that allow you to customize what you're carrying, which is especially, again, targeted to athletes, as you can use these compartments specifically for shoes and laundry. The bag currently comes in one color option, black. For the size, we're looking at a height of around 21 inches, a width of around 14 inches, and a depth of just under 9 inches. The bag is advertised at 36 liters, which I think, for what it's meant to be, a travel bag, that's a great size. A lot of travel bags used to be around 40, 45 liters, but as airlines are getting more and more strict, that size has kind of gone down. Plus, big old bags are kind of annoying to carry. This is still a big bag, but I think 36 liters is the right size choice. Testing the weight of the X-Pack version, we're clocking in at 4.1 pounds on scale number 1 and 4.1 pounds on scale number 2. Because of its X-Pack and padded structure, it sort of retains its shape whether it's empty or full. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation squad. For reference, I'm 5'8", and our media manager Margaret is 5'2". The DVRGE backpack has a limited lifetime warranty that covers you for manufacturing defects in materials and workmanship. And for all that, this bag in the last days of Kickstarter is running around 200 USD, and it'll come in full retail value of around 250 USD. And if at any point during this review, you're thinking to yourself, damn, that is the sports travel backpack of my dreams, and you're gonna pick one up, we highly suggest doing so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the front of the DVRGE backpack. With this part, we always talk about the aesthetic, and I think this definitely is a bag that has a meaner look to it, which kind of makes sense, right? This is for athletes. This ain't some dainty, colorful roll top. This is like the badass bag that you're, traveling the world with as you're athleting from country to country. Actually, the look is pretty cool. And one thing that is contributing to that are the fabrics being used. Now, there's a couple of different options on the Kickstarter campaign, but like I said, they sent us X-Pack. X-Pack is the same cloth that sailboats use for their sails, which obviously means this fabric's gonna be crazy durable. I'm talking weather resistant, abrasion resistant. And what's really great about X-Pack is that it maintains its structure. So you can see this bag self-stands really impressively well, and the X-Pack is a contributing factor to that self-standing. But on the negative side, X-Pack can be a little heavier. And over time, especially for VX21, those diamond shapes, that's the ply that actually gives X-Pack its shape and structure and functionality. But anyways, it'll become more profound over time. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It doesn't affect the functionality of the fabric. It's just, it looks more like sinewy, kind of raises over time. I just saw recently, I was walking around the streets and there was an old able carry bag that someone was carrying. It must have been like 10 years old. And the X-Pack diamonds were so noticeable on it. It just raises over time. So not a deal breaker, just something to be aware of. It should be noted too that this embroidered logo right here is gonna be changed to a print logo for the final production run. There's gonna be a handful of other small changes between this sample and the production sample that I'll tell you all about at the end of the video. At the bottom here, we got an external lash point. You can clip things onto here, and also the webbing has reflective properties. So if you're wearing this bag, it's dark as f out, don't get hit by a car, hopefully the reflection on this nylon will help keep you safe. Now we got a front pocket right here, a little bit of a rain flap. Rain flaps are great because, as the name suggests, protects you from the rain. But rain flaps can get zippers caught in them as well. You can see right there. But the good news is if it gets caught, it also gets easily uncaught. And obviously for a bag like this, weather resistance seems to be quite a priority. For the front pocket, could be a good spot for your cell phone. This is an iPhone 13. Throw it right there. These zippers should all be YKK. Indeed they are. Now let's talk about these guys, the lash points. As to where you have two, they are removable, right? So they're connected to the bag, but they can be disconnected. And they allow you to connect to the bag either here, or you can loosen these bad boys and connect them to the front. There's a lot of things that you can use these straps for to carry on the outside of your bag, but these are actually specifically designed to carry helmets. But if you're like, dude, I don't use helmets. I live on the wild side, dude. You can go ahead and remove the strap, but also wear a helmet, okay? Safety first, kids. Safety first. And then we have another pocket right here, also protected with a little flap for additional weather resistance. This pocket is about yay big. Great spot for quick access to your glasses, AirPods. I love that DVRGE used a lighter colored fabric in here. So I will admit, this pocket and the bottom pocket are a little bit more challenging to get to with the rain flap and just the overall tightness of the pockets. You can see right there. But what gives it a little bit of hope is that lighter lining, which helps to create a bit of a highlight effect, which makes it easier to find what you put where. And with last note, DVRGE added this little blue stitch right there, which I like. Just a little pop of color, just gives the bag a little bit of life. It's little things, but they go a long way. All right, moving on, let's talk about the middle of the DVRGE backpack. Now we showcased how well this bag self-stands. And like I said, that'll come down to the highly structured fabric of this X-Pack. I can't speak about the self-standing for the other fabric versions of this bag, but the X-Pack, very well structured, stands straight. And that's also attributed to the super flat bottom right here. Now, flat bottom backpacks are great for self-standing, but less great when it comes to like sexification, right? It's just kind of this big old blobby backpack. Like look at being carried on Margaret, you know? She's 5'2", she looks like she's getting swallowed by that thing. Now, before we get into the primary features of these side pockets, let's talk about the side handles. Pretty nice, get the job done. Really nice webbing, decent amount of padding in here. Bit of space to grab. I'm not the biggest dude, so my hands aren't like super large, so I kind of, you know, think these maybe could have been a bit bigger, but they do get the job done. And on top of each is an external lash point, so you can clip more things onto your bag. All right, let's talk about these guys. Water bottle holders. Well, actually, false alarm. We got the water bottles, but it's always best to test out the actual holders when the bag is packed out, so we'll do that in just a second. But in the meantime, we have these actual two pockets, right? Now, you often will see bags that cater to photographers, camera bags, with side pockets like this, right? So you can swing the bag around, unzip, grab your camera, good to go. So what DVRGE has done, very interestingly, is they've taken that design language and that sort of, you know, concept, but applied it to an athletic lifestyle. Because if you're, you know, traveling and training, you're gonna have extra shoes. They can go there, and probably some, you know, dirty laundry, right? Now what's cool about these compartments is that they're independently ventilated. You can see right here, that little button, that's got some holes in it, which will allow this compartment to breathe a little bit. And notice the fabric that's being used here. This is like, you know, airtight, dude, right? So the stink's not getting in, and the stink is also being released out of the bag. So kind of the best of all worlds. Now, let me show you what that actually looks like in the main compartment, but let me also bring up a potential negative with this bag. As to where you can see, all these compartments are protected with PU-coated zippers. Now they're YKK, which is the good thing. And these are chunky YKKs. But the PU-coated zippers, while they are more weather resistant, God, they are very annoying to open and to close. Now, if you're an athlete, you might be like, cool with that. And you might be like, dude, wrist day, all too commonly neglected in the gym world. This is perfect. I can do wrist training while on the go. But, and that's your perspective, totally fair. But one thing to also know about PU-coated zippers is they can, not always, but can peel over time. Especially with more exposure to sunlight and to humidity, they might end up looking like this. It's not a guarantee, but it's something to be aware of. Now, moving into the main compartment, you can see what we got going on with these two sections. And let's look at how they actually work inside the bag as to where they can expand. And they have this sort of hard shell divider, which just kind of allows for like modular customization to build out this bag however you want. So for instance, if you don't want to use this compartment for this particular journey you're on, you can actually snap this bad boy into place on the top and on the bottom. And you got to keep in mind with how this works with the top divider, this guy right here, which allows further customization. This divider is also going to help with the self-standing and the overall structure of the bag. You can actually extend this guy a little bit and this guy a lot of it, right? There's just different ways that you can customize this bag to fit how you want to travel. Now this panel is quite interesting because, like I said, it helps to keep the bag structured, but it also acts as a divider as to where, all the stuff that's down here can sort of be separated, and then this can act as like your quick access area. In this pocket, we have a mesh pocket, a lining pocket, and the way that the zippers are configured kind of gives you this cool quick access with the top as to where you can unzip this and just access whatever is at this top panel. So again, a lot of customization here and like a modular sort of feel. Not in the most complicated way, but it will be more complicated than some people will like it. I'm curious, like, your thoughts, like with the entire like side panels and the top panel, are we getting a little too complex here? Or do you like all the customization that it gives you? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, in the top divider, you can go ahead and throw some health stuff in here, and throw some gum right in there. Zippered pocket. It has a little bit of space. You can fit like a hard drive in there if you wanted to. And then in this little area, you can throw tech pouch, maybe an adopt kit, whatever you want quicker access to. And again, I really think it's neat how like this flap just kind of opens up, gives you that, bird's eye view. Zippers aren't going to be easy to open and to close, but when you do close them up, if you do want a little bit extra security, YKK number 10s can lock, which is nice for a bit of extra peace of mind. Last note for the middle is we have this top handle, which is beefy. I love it. Love how thick it is. Love how well padded it is. Could use a bit more space to actually fit my hand in there. As you see, it's a little bit tight. I've also asked for the top handle to be a little bit longer. Okay, DVRGE, y'all are on it. The top handle will be extended by a bit, giving you a bit more grabbing space. And I can't forget about the water bottles, because if you're a traveling athlete, hydration is muy importante. You can see these water bottle holders have some expansion and a really nice gusset in there that allows you to put beefy water bottles. Now, I have a 24-ounce Columbia. You can see this one's gonna fit very nicely, as to where there's plenty of room and it's not eating into the main compartment. And on the flip side, we got a 1 liter Yeti, also really fits nicely. And this is great because a lot of bags can't fit a water bottle this thick. And like if you do carry those 1 liter Nalgene's, like basically a big old gallon or a big old water jug, they should fit in here as well. But because they can accommodate larger water bottles, they also are a little loose. But pro tip, you can actually use the external lash points to help secure your water bottle down as well. Now, before we jump into the next section, it should be noted if you are digging this review, here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do epic bag reviews on YouTube, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, you can look at me as your reporter in the field for what's happening in this killer industry of EDC and travel gear. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening, I'm talking latest releases, limited edition bags, plus access to our discount codes and exclusive giveaways, you're going to want to look for this globe emoji in the description below. There you can sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, and I hope to see you in your inbox. Okay, let's talk about the back of the DVRGE backpack. Laptop compartment, PU-coated zipper again, which, great for protecting your laptop in case you do get caught in a rainstorm. We got double zipper access. Lockable zipper, nice Hypalon zipper pullers, by the way. Then we're in. In the tech compartment, we have a mesh pocket at the top, a bit of an area in the middle, and then 2 tech sleeves. The larger tech sleeve should be able to fit a 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is a 3D cutout, and you can absolutely see it fits with a bit of room to spare. Let's see if we can fit a 17-incher. This is an Asus VivoBook. Oh yeah, we're fitting in there 100%. Love this microfiber material, very scratch resistant. The laptop compartment has a decent false bottom, protecting you from any droppage that may occur. Actually, a really nice false bottom. The non-clamshell opening is gonna make it a bit tight when this bag is fully packed out, especially if you wanna slip a tablet in there as well. Getting into that tablet sleeve is, it's tough. It's like kind of hard to find. You can get it, don't get me wrong. It's not impossible. It's just like, gotta finagle with the bag a little bit. On the top here, great spot for your tech stuff, and the mesh is gonna give you a bit of expansion. So if you wanna put a charger in there or something bulkier, it'll also fit as well. Now, before we talk about the comfort, let's talk about the luggage pass-through, which allows you to carry your bag vertically, the way it should be. Oh, that's a beefy luggage pass-through. And I'm referring to both the fabric. This is nice, it's chunky, it's been padding has been added to it, but also the reinforced stitching here. It just doesn't feel like it's gonna pop out of place anytime soon. So although this backpack might be a bit too big for carry-on in certain parts of the world, if you're traveling in the States and you wanna pair it with a suitcase, it'll work pretty nicely. Comfort of this bad boy is looking pretty legit. We got some beefy shoulder straps, well over 3 inches. Tapers down a bit, but still 2.5. That's what you want to see on a larger travel bag, especially if you're gonna be carrying more stuff. I do think the density of the shoulder straps could have been improved. DVRGE went wide enough for me, but not necessarily deep enough. But we got more depth on the back panel here, and a really nice mesh I've seen this mesh before used on some airbags. I like it because it's grippy, but it's a little scratchy as well. So if you're an athlete and you're wearing like a tank top going to and from training, a mesh like this might cause a bit of scratchiness on your epidermis. But the scratchiness of that aside, I found this to be a pretty comfortable bag. I do wish that the shoulder straps did have a bit more density. They're pretty good the way they are. Back panel feels fantastic. Oftentimes I would have appreciated load lifters on a bag this size. Load lifters allow you to pull the bag forward a little bit. They kind of act like shoulder strap stabilizers, therefore pushing the weight of the bag a little bit more forward to your shoulders and a little bit less on your lower back. But overall, I give the comfort, 3.5 out of 5. It's nice. Definitely helped out by the sternum strap and the fact that we got dangle stoppers on 1, 2, 3 parts of the bag. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there's some changes that will be made from the Kickstarter sample to the final production sample. Let's just run through those real fast. All of this exterior webbing here will change from this cheap webbing to a more high quality satin webbing. We're also gonna have some color differentiation when it comes to the webbing that snaps in the divider buttons. Therefore, just making sure you don't grab the wrong button. As I said earlier, the front logo will go from embroidered to print. The lash points will be lengthened by 4 cm, therefore giving the ability just to easier connect things externally on your bag, especially things that are a bit more bulky and or oddly shaped. DVRGE will also be adding a key leash to the top front exterior pocket. And last but not least, like I mentioned, the top handle is going to be lengthened ever so slightly, which clutch call DVRGE. Clutch call. Okay, now we can talk about the overall pros and the cons of the DVRGE backpack. Pro number 1, I think the build quality is actually really impressive. For a first bag, these guys did a great job. Pro number 2 is gonna be the bag's really impressive weather resistance. Pro number 3, self-stands like a champ. And pro number 4 is gonna be just kind of the overall selling point. Like, it's a bag that fits the lifestyle of a traveling athlete, and that works with the side compartments, all the modularization, customization. It's a very cool, unique offering. But on the flip side, I got some cons. While the pro is going to be for those traveling athletes, on the con side, like if you're not a traveling athlete, this is gonna be too niche and probably too specific of a build for you. Con number 2 is while the bag is structured and feature heavy, that does create a lot of bulk and weight. And con number 3, while the bag is comfortable, I would have liked to have seen a bit more depth on the shoulder straps and potentially load lifters as well. But if you're still watching this, you might be thinking to yourself, Aaron, I don't need deeper shoulder straps. I don't need load lifters. This bag is perfect. Halle-berry, hallelujah. It's answering my calls. And if you're gonna grab one, we do recommend doing so using the first link in the description below. Like I said, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about some alternatives. First alternative is our leaderboard video, which if you're new to the channel, is where me and the 3 other members of the Nomads Nation team get together and talk about our favorite distinct bags in our favorite distinct bag categories. Just so you can get an idea of what's on the market, and you can watch that linked above. But if we're pretty close with the DVRGE, here's a couple of alternatives you might like more. First up is the Boundary Supply Errant Pro. Also made an X-Pack with a crap ton of YKK PU-coated zippers. It's just another really weatherproof, over-structured, super durable, a bit too bulky and heavy, but a killer backpack. It's kind of got a bit of a similar vibe to this, but also does things a bit differently as well. And the second alternative is gonna be the Able Carry Max EDC. Great pick for you if you're digging the X-Pack vibes, but you want something a little bit smaller and with a few more color options. Able Carry Max EDC is 26 liters. It looks wicked and tan, but it can also be used to carry your shoes and other athletic gear. Every bag has its own unique set of pros and cons. We're really impressed with what DVRGE is bringing to the table. So if you want to support them on Kickstarter or whenever you're watching this, we definitely support that. But if you want to learn more about the 2 alternatives as well, you can go ahead and watch these videos right here. I'm gonna give you a second to decide which video you're most interested in. So in the meantime, if you got any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit, which you can find by Googling it. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you guys next time.